Good morning, friends. Let's get super duper comfortable. And you guys are already getting into the habit of, I can see all your stuff and I love seeing it. Awesome. Good. You've got really great support under the knees. Alice has her weighted blanket. Alice, would you like me to place a blanket over you? Okay. Just enough elevation and support underneath the back of the head. And something over the eyes. Just to block out the light. So today, I'm going to do something just a little bit different. I want to just keep changing things up and exposing you to new things. So one of the things that I'm trained in is NLP. It's neuro-linguistic programming and timeline therapy. Usually with the timeline therapy, I'm working with clients to go into their past to find areas where they might have sort of stuck feelings and emotions. And so we work to release those issues because we might be living from a place of limitation based on those past experiences or traumas. And sometimes we're unconscious of, ever having had any of those things, but they come up in a session of hypnotherapy when you're in a deep state of relaxation while you're awake, though. So we sort of work together. But today, I don't want to look at the past. I want to go through an exercise with you whereby you're kind of creating your future. I want you to think about not in terms of, material, but more about how you want to be feeling, like in your future, like cultivating and creating a state of being. And along with that comes all of the things that provide that for you, because everything that we're seeking in life is to ultimately create this state of being. We want to feel happy. We want to feel joyful. We want to be healthy. And so I want you to just kind of contemplate, what it is and how you'd like to be and how you'd like to feel in this ideal future. So I'm going to take you through a little meditation, but before we do that, we just need to get into a deeply relaxed state. So just check in with yourself, check in with your physical body, and make all the little adjustments in your body so that you can create space. I want you to think about the space between your bones, and as you lengthen your legs out, you create space between all those bones. Just let the feet come a little bit apart. Maybe they turn out a little bit. Feel the knees resting on that support. And then work your way up through the spinal column, and again creating space right from the tail. And you can kind of scoot the tail toward the feet a little bit so that the sacrum slides downward a bit, and then that creates a bit of space between the vertebrae in the lumbar. And then work your way up through the thoracic spine as you make contact there. And the shoulder blades might be touching the mat, and then all the way up to the cervical spine, the nape of the neck. And then lengthen that so that you feel the skin along the backside of the neck sort of stretching, right to the base of the skull. And then there's a slight tuck of the chin, just a little bit, as you lengthen the back of the neck. So the forehead is higher than the nose higher than the chin higher than the sternum. And then with your arms, as you outstretch, try turning the palms upward. So even that just allows you to be in this more open and expansive state. If your palms are closed, you're sort of closed off to the world around you. It's that is also useful. But for today, Just try opening up through the chest and the heart. And allow everything to just soften. Notice if you're clenching your teeth. Can you create a little bit of space? Maybe even the lips just separate a little bit. You can moisten them and just let the lips come apart and the cheeks just melt off the bones. The eyes sink heavy in their sockets. The space between the brows, the brow line, the forehead, everything just sort of melts away. And you can even feel this smile, like a stoic smile, as the full expression on your face. So the Stoics were philosophers in the classical period. And they came to certain knowings and understandings about life. And in that knowing, there was also a level of contentment. Knowing that everything is just as it should be. Everything is as it should be. And therefore, everything is okay, just as it is. And the smile comes from a place of taking pleasure, of observing it all unfold before you in this sort of magical way. So allow yourself to come to that place where you're just able to observe your life and the greater life around you unfold. Just bring your awareness to your breath and just notice the gentle rising and falling of the abdomen. Notice if your breath is a little restricted or constricted. And just the simple fact of bringing awareness to the breath already starts to shift it, so that you're starting to really fuel the body, fuel the lungs with more oxygen as you take in a little bit more pranic energy, more breath. You feel the ribs expand. And just notice your body in relation to the space around you. As the body expands with breath, you're drawing in the space into your body, and your body is expanding into space. And you might even feel a deep sense of appreciation for all the space around you. For it's the thing that brings life to you and every single cell in your body. And you can feel your body so relaxed, at ease, a sense of peace and calm as that feeling washes over you and through you. You're just feeling so relaxed. Body's heavy. You can feel your connection to the earth. There's like a magnetic pull that keeps you connected. experience of the earth. And we have a deep connection to this beautiful planet. We would not be able to live anywhere else but here. Physically, that is. This physical body is connected to this earth, and it will remain here. And just allow yourself to feel a deep sense of appreciation for your connection to the earth. Feeling so much gratitude for everything. And just leaving all the criticisms and all the judgments aside, all the comparisons, and just really rising above it all and appreciating everything, the good, the bad, and everything in between. Just take 5 full yogic breaths here and just stay connected to the breath as you observe everything about those cycles. And feeling the temperature as it enters and as it leaves the body. Rising and falling of the abdomen. And as you continue to breathe, you might even feel tingling sensations in the body, like an effervescence of bubbling currents coursing through the body. And just get a sense for the body as a whole, the back side, the front side, the right side, the left side, from your head to your toes, and then all the way around and through the body. Now we're going to create a timeline, and we're going to start at the future as we work our way back. Starting from the future, we want to help access better states of being. Which we can, in fact, pull into the present. Now, everything from the past is very useful. And everything from the past can be used as a resource. We learn from all those past experiences, from good memories. They give us states that we can use in the future. We want to repeat the feeling of those good memories. And so the bad or the not so good or the negative experiences that we've had, they're really important too. They teach us lessons. And they're really critical for our evolution and our development. Those hard times are really the times that help us to grow. And they really push us forward. If you think of a butterfly or the caterpillar, it doesn't know that it's going to become a butterfly. And it goes into that state of chrysalis. And then when it's ready, it starts to push itself out. And if you were to help that butterfly come out of its cocoon, in fact, you'd be hindering its growth and its strength and its progress. You need to let that butterfly do that work on its own, because the pushing out into that chrysalis helps to strengthen its wings, and then it can soar and fly. So all those hard times are the times in life where they're actually the most important, because they've brought you to where you are today. So as you create this timeline for yourself, your future timeline, just imagine before you an ever-expanding triangle, just full of color and possibility. And just imagine your past going off in a triangle just behind, getting smaller and smaller. And just spend a few moments considering the future that you want and what you might do to achieve it. And just imagine yourself far, far, far off in the future. Future where you've created and you're living in the life that you want. And what do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? Stay with the feeling of that. Fully associate into the image and take time to relish in the feelings. Steeping in those feelings. Just step outside of yourself and watch yourself in the future. Watching yourself in that future time from this viewpoint. just step right outside of yourself and watch your future self. And just list 3 key elements that have helped you to get there. Just witnessing yourself outside of your future self. Can you identify 3 key elements that have helped you to get there? And just take your time. What are those 3 key elements? And if you don't quite have all 3, that's okay. We can revisit this again. Now just start to move halfway back to the present. What did you do to master those elements? Just halfway back. What was it that you did to master those 3 elements? And is there anything that you could do to further support and improve upon what you did? Is there anything else that you could do to further support yourself in that future? And just slowly start to come back to the present. And what could you do now to start introducing those elements? What could you do now? And imagine yourself introducing those elements into your life. Imagine yourself moving forward, overcoming any possible blocks that might get in your way, any obstacles, and picking up additional resources until you meet and exceed your original outcome. Now, what advice can you bring back from that future? From the time of having achieved your objective, what advice would you give the younger, present you? What advice would your future self give you? And now, as you find yourself in the present, fully in the present, just start from the present once more and move into the future. This time, taking account of the advice that you've given yourself. device all the way through this beautiful timeline, your lifetime. And just notice all the subtle shifts and adjustments through that timeline right into your future. And then start to bring yourself back all the way back, all the way back, all the way back to the present in this current body. And just coming all the way back into the present moment, and just feel yourself inside your body, the present you. Present you that knows exactly where you're going. The present you that can bring that future back with you. Bringing that state of being that you cultivated and created in your future timeline. And so now you're living your life from that place, moving along that timeline, that trajectory. And as you feel yourself inside your body, become aware of your fingers and your toes. Become aware of your breath. Become aware of your whole body. And just begin to invite a little bit of movement into your body. Maybe by wiggling the fingers and the toes. And ever so slowly, you can outstretch your arms overhead and just make your body really, really, really long, just stretching out this bag of bones and viscera and flesh, and just stretch, 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 and reach, reach, reach. Take another great big breath. And as you exhale, just allow yourself to sink. And ever so slowly bend one knee and then the other, and just draw the legs in toward your chest. Reach up and around and give yourself a great big squeeze with just so much love, so much gratitude. And just take a moment here to really thank yourself and honor yourself for taking the time to invest in the planning of your future. Planning your state of being. Planning in your future. Give yourself that squeeze and that hug. Just invite all of that you laid out and planned into your future, and bring it all into the now. Just feeling it all right now. as you give yourself a squeeze here, and you can gently rock a little bit side to side. That's it. And then when you're ready, bring your bolster or a cushion or even your blanket and sort of roll it up. And you can wedge it between your legs. Just wedge it between your legs. And then you're just going to roll to one side. Yeah. So you've got a bolster or a pillow or something. You could even be a blanket. Yeah, fold it up nicely. And then just roll onto one side, but keep your chest open and expanded, and reach your arms out to either side. So both shoulders are down. Maybe one shoulder starts to lift a little. That's okay. And essentially, you're coming into a nice, gentle twist. That's it. And as we start to introduce a little bit of movement, try not to lose connection to that trajectory, to that timeline. That timeline, let there be no sort of interruption between you and that state of being that you created all the way through that timeline to that future you. It's sort of like an umbilical cord running all the way through that timeline, connecting you to your future self. And just keep staying with the feelings that you created in that future. And just feel your belly rise and fall. And just take 3 more deep yogic breaths here, nice and full. third exhale is complete, ever so slowly, start to rise back up to center. And then as you exhale, just allow your legs to fall out to the other side. Maybe you scoot your hips a little to the back. And just make that transition as smooth and as graceful as you possibly can. So you're still staying in that deep state of relaxation, that deep meditative state. So I was really inspired the other day. I read something by John Wheeler. He's a physicist. He was, I believe, he was like a colleague of Einstein. And he described he was describing the universe, and he said that we as humans are pieces of that universe, observing itself. All of us are pieces of that universe, observing itself. And so you often hear people saying that you are God and God is within. And I'm not being preachy here, but it just really inspired me to think about this. And so today in my meditation, I was inspired to write a little poem that I'd like to share with you. So it goes like this. I am in love with God. I am in love with me. God is all I see. Heaven is above. Heaven is below. Heaven is inside of me. Lifetimes past, I did not know. I did not see. Suffering abound, everywhere and all around. Now all I see and know is so profound. For God is everything and even inside of me. Now, ever so slowly, just start to bring yourself back up to center. And just remove that bolster or whatever you have. And then roll yourself back up. So roll to one side, and then slowly and mindfully just press yourself up. And as you sit up, just wrap your arms around your legs and give yourself a little squeeze. That's it. Just let your head come to your chin, comes to the chest, forehead toward the knees. So Alice, just sit up. Come up to seated. That's it. And then do that while you're sitting. Good. Alice just wants to stay in her Shavasana today. Good. And tuck the chin in a little more. Bring the forehead closer to the knees. And take another breath. Good. Now on your next inhale, just lift your head up and your shoulders up, and you're just going to slide something underneath your knees. So maybe it's, a rolled up blanket or two, or your bolster or your cushions or whatever you've got. So place that support underneath the knees. Yeah. Good. Now you'll have options here. And we're going to do a forward fold, and your options will be if you don't have like a second cushion or a blanket. Alice, I know, is going to want to go into the depths of the pose, but I just want it to be a bit more restorative. So not so much yang. So if you have like a blanket, for example, you can make a little sausage roll, and then you're going to place that on top. Okay, but wait. If you have a bolster, you're going to use the bolster. And this is a little bit big for Alice, but let's just see. I just want you to fold right over top, so you're just completely and totally draping. And so with your hands, even just turn the palms upward. Yeah, so you're relaxed, and you can bend your elbows, just totally, whatever feels natural. So if that doesn't feel natural for you because you got a smaller body and you can't quite rest there, so rest your hands where it feels natural for you, Alice. Yeah, that feels better. Good. Now I'm going to place this weighted blanket on her back just to add a little bit more weight here. Okay, so if you have something that you can press or place rather on top of the back, even if it's just a blanket. Some of you have weighted bags, sand bags. I love those bags, although I don't like putting sand in them. I like putting rice in them. It's a bit cleaner. Oh, that's so nice, Betsy. Good. You've got your Pilates ball. You'd make Alice so proud. That's it. Good. So you're just finding whatever you've got. Don't worry whether or not it's the right kind of prop. There you go, Mary. That's great. So you just use your stuff, whatever you can get your hands on. So where are you feeling like you need to shift or change or adjust? Oh, don't hold back. This is your practice. And so you're really becoming skilled at being connected to your body. And then responding to the needs of the body. So where are areas of discomfort? And what can you adjust? What can you do to fix or realign, to adjust? And just invite a total sense of passivity, just letting go, draping yourself over your props, and as you fold over, let go of the weight of the head. And then use your breath as a tool. So breathe into the body. That's it. That looks really good, Jamie. In this forward fold, I actually really like to, I didn't do it for Alice because she's got a weight bag, but if that were just a blanket, I would pull it right over the head, and then that way you're allowing the nervous system to release by blocking out the light. And just keep breathing and keep softening and letting go. You're just melting into it. Can you relax a little bit more? Where are you holding tension? So just observe. So maybe in those pockets of time, you drifted off with some thought. Let's bring your awareness back and just check out your body. Where are you holding tension unnecessarily, and can you command that part of your body? Can you connect to it to release it and relax it? So you're gaining greater control and greater command over your body as you bring all of those things that are in the unconscious realms, unconscious and subconscious realms, and you're pulling it up to the conscious realm. That is what it means to wake up, to be awake. It's a full awareness of oneself. Know thyself. Famous words inscribed on a famous temple. Ancient wisdom. Just breathe. And slowly, very slowly, you're just gonna stack your spine back up. Good. Now, we'll set up for a beautiful reclined Baddha Konasana. So let's use the bolster. You know what? Today, just stay as you are, Alice. It's okay. You want to scoot it down a bit? You can stay. So whatever you've got, so you want the support under the knees, and then you want something that you can lay on top of. Now, this object can really be anything. It could be, if you don't have another bolster or a cushion off your couch, it could be a rolled up blanket. Guess what? It can even be a rolled up mat. Okay? So there's lots of things that you can use in lieu of. So since we're in the studio and we've got these wonderful bolsters, we'll use the bolster. I'm going to make a little cushion for Alice. So today, in other times, I've raised this so that it's more of a reclining posture, but I'm going to get you to go all the way down today. So whatever you've got, just lay it flat and lift your head up just a bit. There. Okay. And offer yourself a little bit of support. Does that feel like it's too high, Alice? It's good? Good. So there you go. She just did that little adjustment. So you can just lift your hips up a little, just scoot the tail toward the heels, and that will release the lumbar. And the lumbar should just rest nicely on top of whatever you have there, the edge of whatever you have there. And then I'm once more going to use the props here. So we've got an eye pillow, and place that over top of the eyes. That could just be a face cloth. And then place a blanket over top of your body. There you go. That's it. And then with your arms, just see where you want to go. The arms should be at least a foot away from the sides of your body. But maybe you want to reach out a little further, a little more, and you just see where you want to be today, what you want to explore, what sensations are there for you to experience. And just allow yourself to observe. So you're just observing the qualities, of the sensations that you're experiencing in the body. The muscles, the tissues, the bones. Maybe you're feeling energy coursing, chi energy, pranic energy. Waves, currents, bubbling, effervescence, tickling, tingling. And being aware of any emotions that are present. Being aware of any thoughts that are present. Of thoughts and emotions create feelings. Feelings are energy in motion. They're emotions, thoughts, emotions create feelings. is your state of being, the quality of your state of being. So how are you feeling? Now, if you ever feel in a way that is not appealing to you, you know that you have the ability to change it. You elicit a higher frequency in thought, so a better feel-good thought. You elicit a thought that elicits an emotion. That is equal to the feeling that you want to achieve. And that's how you create a state of being. And just know, this is where we all kind of get stuck, is that we put it out there on others, on circumstances, on things, on people, making them responsible for how we're feeling, for our state of being. Until you take responsibility, until you awaken to that you have to take the onus on yourself, that you are the one choosing always to be as you are. And you have the ability to change that and to make it be what you want it to be. Just as you went into your far distant future, you created a state of being. You thought about it. You created emotions about it. You had emotions about it. You created a feeling. So you can always choose. Regardless of situations, circumstances, places, people, things. I'm going to let you rest here and perhaps drift off into contemplation or just enjoying this state of being that you've cultivated, that you've created. You know what's really beautiful about practicing this work is that when you realize that it's something that you can create and cultivate and generate, you generate enough of that energy that at some point it becomes effortless. It just becomes your new normal, your new state of being. And that energy just keeps building upon itself. You get enough momentum going, and then it's effortless. And then you've had a huge, major shift. I'd like to thank you for participating. Thank you so much for your lovely energy. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being just as you are. You are whole, perfect, and complete. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Namaste.